We got more information about the different combat stances we'll be seeing in Jedi Survivor in April, so let's talk about it. In a new article and video from IGN, it confirms that we'll be starting the game with what we saw in the 9 minutes of gameplay as far as saber stances are concerned. We'll be starting off with the single blade, staff/double blade, and the twin blades. In this article, the game devs discuss how they wanted to add the twin blade to the original game, but ran out of time, so they were very excited to add it to the beginning of the new game. They do go into more detail about the different stances, and so I'm going to summarize them here for you. Starting off strong with the new combat stance, the twin blades. The twin blades is more nuanced. It makes Cal a bit of a glass cannon, meaning that while he can hit hard, this stance leaves him open to taking a lot of damage if you're not careful. The twin blades have the most unique combos of all of the stances, and some require a good bit of technical skill and timing to perform. In addition to the combos, Twin Blade is the only saber stance where you will be able to dodge or guard in the middle of an attack instead of having to wait for the entire swing to play out. This allows the player to rely more on instincts and reflexes as a freer way of fighting compared to the other stances. Next is the single blade stance. This is the well-rounded, jack-of-all-trades kind of stance that we all know and love from the first game. It has a medium range and medium power, so it's just overall good for any fighting style. It's faster than some of the other stances though, meaning each attack won't take as long to complete. Its special ability is a strong thrusting attack, and that will deal heavy damage to a single enemy. Overall, it's just kind of the basic normal stance that's going to work for everybody's playstyle. Next is the staff or double-bladed stance, which is made for crowd control. Like in Jedi Fallen Order, this will help you when you're facing large amounts of cannon fodder type enemies, such as a bunch of B1 battle droids. This is very close range stance. The biggest downside is the startup time for its attacks, meaning you have to be careful when facing faster enemies. Now onto the Crossguard stance. This utilizes the saber with the crossguard similar to the one we see Kylo Ren wield. This is a high-risk stance, but it deals the most damage. The combat is the slowest and it has very little range, but when you get a hit in, it really hits. A lot of power with a lot of risk. Finally, the blaster stance. This is the one Respawn is keeping closest to their chest, and we have very little information on it. What we have learned is that the blaster will allow you to attack enemies from a large range, but it's designed in a way that encourages you to fight up close with your saber as well to replenish ammo, so you have to play a balanced amount of both. Because Jedi Survivor is a melee-based combat game, they don't want you just sniping enemies from a distance. For the sabers, you can only equip 2 at a time like we saw in the 9 minutes of gameplay, but you can change them at every meditation point for whatever fighting style you're feeling at the moment. So it's going to be very flexible for which sabers you can use. Now that we've covered the stances, we also got new information about the skill trees we'll be seeing in this game. Unlike Jedi Fallen Order, there are going to be multiple different skill trees. Each saber stance is going to have its own skill tree with upgradable skills so you can more develop the stances that you most enjoy. In addition to the skill trees for the saber stances, there will also be a skill tree for force powers as well as a skill tree for survivor skills that offers increases to your health, force, and even more. Something else that we were shown in this new video, other than the really cool combat, which they didn't really mention out loud, is the fact that there's potentially going to be dismemberment in this game. This is something a lot of people were disappointed was taken out of Jedi Fallen Order at launch, so it'll be really fun to have it in Jedi Survivor if this is true. We're getting more and more Jedi Survivor news every day, so feel free to drop a sub if you want to stay informed. I will be covering all the new news we get, and I am certain we're going to get a lot of it. So feel free to drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub. I appreciate it. So what saber style are you most looking forward to playing with in April? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. May the Force be with you. Goodbye.